Hi guys, this is Martina.
And this is Ajib on Two Peas in a Pod.
Cast, and this is episode 15.
Amazing, amazing.
So today's guest is someone that I've been very excited to sit down with, and someone that has had a direct impact on my own life. She is a financial coach that helps people to move from feeling stuck and overwhelmed with money to building clarity, systems, and long-lasting financial freedom. Sounds good, right? She's not just a financial coach. She's my personal financial coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today's real talk is about money mistakes, debt, and how to move from now like getting stuck to now being financially free. Susan, welcome to our podcast.
I love it. Excited to be here.
I am so excited. that
Yeah.
you're here.
We're also excited to be here. Me, I've heard about Susan. Now I've put the name to the face. Thank God.
And
Yes.
why has Ajib heard about Susan?
From Martina, most definitely. most definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say my money choices have been the best, but also you wouldn't know until uambiwe. Rather, you're shown the way you
Right.
get. Like, because
Yeah.
as of now, everyone is like, oh, we need to live like this, you need to spend money like this. Since the excuse I usually use is I'm in my 20s. So, you know,
Yeah, like it's, let's
there's
just
a
enjoy
fine
it.
line between now building your life and living your life still.
Now we're
So,
moving
yeah.
towards
So
late
Martina-
20s though.
Yeah. So
Even
Martina-
you.
I mean, you're right.
You had to.
You're right. Mbele ya
needs
watu
to get
kwa-
serious,
mbele ya watu kwanza. Thank you, Martina.
She needs to get serious.
But yes, I'm so excited to have this conversation.
It's going to be interesting.
Very.
And yeah, we called Susan because, okay, ever since we started the podcast, I feel, I knew I would call you at some point.
Yes.
You know, because for real, she has made a difference in my life, to be honest. Like, yes. Because one thing is to make money, and another thing is to keep that money and like build wealth,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like you can make a lot, but like how much of that are you keeping?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
an issue, right?
Yeah.
So
a big issue.
a big issue, Ajib,
A big
yes.
issue.
I know you know.
I know, you know, I know.
So yeah, and especially for younger people, I know our audience is made
Yes.
of youngins, also millennials, I would say.
Yeah, for
but
sure, 100%.
we have a big chunk of youngins. So, and I know nobody teaches us this that we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we step out into the world knowing nothing
Knowing nothing.
about how to actually build wealth. So you're welcome
You're welcome,
for
guys.
bringing to you Susan here. You have a podcast of your own though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Plug it here.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Susan Wanjiku. I am the founder of the Legacy Hub Kenya, which is your one-stop platform for personal finance coaching. So the aim of what we do at the coaching center is pretty much just to make personal finance simple, accessible, and personalized. Like I don't want someone to feel like, oh my God, this money thing is just for finance people.
Yeah.
The goal is everyone, finance and non-finance, can get the money thing and make it work for them. So that's what we do at the Legacy Hub Kenya. I'm the lead coach there, but we also have platforms on social media. So my YouTube is Susan Wanjiku, Instagram Susan Wanjiku, and all we talk about is personal finance, money, money, money. So if that makes you uncomfortable to talk about, maybe you can check out what we do at the channel just to make the conversation a little bit less taboo, a little bit easier. So
Yes.
that's what we wanted to become part of our everyday life, to talk about money. Yeah.
That's good. So actually, the title for the episode, I think, will be From Broke to Financial Freedom.
Amen.
Wow.
Please,
Wow.
yes,
You know?
Thank you.
Because I think all of us sitting here have been broke, and now we want to move towards the other direction.
Transitioning.
So, but let's talk about you, right?
Yeah.
Since you're our dear guest. Tell us a bit about how your relationship with money was before, like when you were broke, right?
Yeah.
Let's say.
Oh, girl.
What was your
I've
situation?
been broke. Like, not broke, broken.
Broke.
Or broken.
Broken.
Yeah. So my relationship with money, honestly, I feel like, so I'm a firm believer that how we are with money is a direct reflection of your first ever encounter with money. And for a lot of us, that comes in childhood, right? So how you were raised, whether you guys had plenty or whether you lacked, I feel like that forms a big part of your relationship with money. So for me, that's where I, like, initially when I think about, so where did my relationship with money start? It's just where I was born. We were that poor. You
were that poor
exactly,
growing up,
like you're living in mabati houses. You don't have. We had our first, like, inside the house toilet when I was like maybe in high school. For exactly. So that's the kind of, like, that's how I grew up. So you grow up poor, and that does something to your psyche, or in terms of like just how you relate with money. So initially, what was passed down to me is the scarcity mindset. Is that obviously you see it because you don't have money, you're worried about there is scarcity. Exactly. So it's very unusual that you would grow up in that kind of an environment and have a positive attitude towards money, or have abundance mindset around money, because you've never seen it. You've never heard of it. You've never experienced it. In fact, when you think about it, it's like this thing is like for other people. So you never think this thing is for me. I can figure it out. So that's how my relationship with money started. So obviously that's how I've maneuvered through life until now. My, what I would call my paradigm shift season. So I finish uni, get a job, just like we all do. Okay, well, we all used to, because now I hear getting jobs is something else.
What did you do in uni?
I did a Bachelor of Economics and Finance.
Okay,
so
makes sense.
Makes sense.
Very on brand, very on brand.
It's manifesting right now.
Exactly. Now
She
it's
knew.
exactly.
Yes.
So I did that. Obviously, you do these short certifications. So I tried. I did CFA. That's a Certified Investments and Financial Analyst. So it's not like I knew what I do at the time, what I'm doing at the time. I just knew I don't want to do what most finance people do, which is CPA, accounting. To date, I can still not account to save my life. Even for the business, someone else does it. So most people don't realize you can be a finance person. You're good at this thing, but you're also it's like how a lawyer, the kind of a lawyer to get
For what?
for a divorce. And that one will lose you a land case because that's not their forte. So obviously, because of that line of work, I ended up, my first ever job was in an investment company. So that's where you're
Also
learning
brand.
exactly, also on brand. So you learn all these things. Like, it was a whole new world for me. I was like, there's things called money market funds. Why hasn't anyone ever told us this?
Right.
And they've been there all along. It's not like a 2020 thing or a 2015 thing. They've been there. We just don't know that they are there. So I did there, I worked there maybe 4.5 years. And now this is where it gets very interesting, because you're thinking that this person has access to all this information. You know where to invest money. Why? Because you guys are helping clients invest the money. You know how to multiply to 15% per annum or 12% per annum. So you are assuming that you'll know exactly how to do it. What you do for your employer is not always directly proportional to what you do in your own finances. Because personal finance, and this is the thing that I think I learned along the way, it's very personal. For work, you're given a job description. You're told this is what you're going to be doing Monday to Friday. So you're just doing like your deliverables. But then, in personal finances, we're having to take into account, do I have black tax? Do I not? Am I a spender? Am I a hoarder? Am I a sanguine? Because if I'm always the life of the party paying bills, like all those things come into play in personal finance. So just because you're a finance person, and that's what I keep getting this when I'm working with clients who come to me as finance people. So they're like, oh my God, I feel like, please don't judge me. I'm also a finance person, but I'm like, listen, no judgment here. Me, I was a finance person. Been there, done that, got a and I did nothing. So by the time I was leaving that place, so I worked for 4 years. I didn't leave well because I was actually fired. The company was restructuring.
For 2020, right?
Yeah, so I worked there from 2016 down into 2019. So I was there for like maybe 4.5 years. And then, of course, it's like what Ajib is saying. You are so young. You are in your early 20s. Me, I'm thinking, shamra.
Nanderemo everywhere.
So even when people would say things like, oh, you need to set aside savings for if you lose your job, you're just thinking people who lose their jobs are old people. They are retrenched because they're closer to retirement. I never for 1 second considered that if a company was restructuring and they needed to cut a budget, they would let go of someone earning 40 Gs. Because that's what I used to earn. I thought, okay, I'm too cheap. You guys can afford me, right? So
You
at
used
the
to make
point,
40K only?
gross. Yeah, as an investment,
wow.
as someone who's working as an investment analyst. Welcome to Nairobi,
Wow.
where you're
That's
overworked and
insane.
underpaid. Yeah, but I did learn. Interestingly, in retrospect, I hated the period I was there because it wasn't the funnest places to work. But now in retrospect, I think you don't see things until you've left. Everything I do today is because of what I learned when I was there. So I may not have gotten like better pay, but I did learn quite a bit that formed the foundation of what I do now. So at the time I'm leaving, I had we just entered into work one random Tuesday. Then there's hush conversations, and guys are like, hey, these people are letting people go. There'd been chatters about it. But that day I actually went home jobless. I'd already handed my access card, my laptop, everything. Like you enter into work as an employee on Tuesday. By 3 p.m. the same Tuesday, you're jobless.
You're jobless. Capiche?
Wow.
Yeah. Does Susan have an emergency fund? No. Do I know what I will eat next month? No.
How old were you here?
I was 20... What? I was 24, 25 at that time. How old was I? I don't
And you
know.
were living by yourself already?
No. I was living. I was still living with my mommy. Thank God.
Okay, thank
Yes,
God. I was
thank
gonna
God.
say rent
But
wasn't due.
also, black tax.
I was about to say.
Is a thing. So you
black
might be
tax is
living with your
heavy.
parents just because it's easier to pay one rent instead of two.
Yeah.
I get.
Like back home and also
Okay.
your own. Yeah. So that was the situation for me. So I was like, I can't pay here and then also go and pay somewhere else. And I think that was now you see where so there's the brokenness for I was just born into a poor family. That was all my life. And then I came into work. So I started getting a bit of money. And the only thing I can't tell you what I was doing with the money. Honestly, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
It was just I can't tell you.
Yeah, we relate.
Been there,
I
done that.
relate.
I can't
say,
tell you.
where does the
All
money
I know
go?
is
Where
that
does
I
the
was
money go?
earning and it was being spent.
Yeah.
So when now I lost my job is when I was like,
What?
Yep.
bro, sikuwa na savings. Like I didn't have savings and I was in debt. Obviously, because now you're thinking, say I have a paycheck, I can take this circle loan, I can be itakuwa inakatwa too, like it will be paid. Or, obviously now, because the pay obviously wasn't enough, now I would take mobile loans. And so at the time I was losing my job, I had several mobile loans. Because I would borrow, that thing for borrowing Tala to pay branch.
Yeah.
Then you borrow G where to
pay.
Exactly. So I had...
How much debt are we talking?
Oh my God! I don't
Give us.
Yeah. Let's just say it was in the 6 figures. Like it wasn't kidogo debt for someone.
Babe.
Now when I look back in it, that's actually one of my biggest regrets and mistakes I've ever made. I thought I was gonna be employed for like you see that mindset for I have my whole life ahead of me. I can. So for someone who was earning 40,000, I was taking unnecessarily high amounts of debt.
Yeah.
Because what business do you have borrowing 600,000? Do you know what I did with the money? I bought new couches for the house. Again, it's a poverty thing. You're like, we've never had proper couches. So I bought couches. Then I bought a carpet. Then I bought a fridge. Like it was all consumer debt. I can't show you a car, land, even a phone that I bought. It was just like curtains, moving to a better house.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think the biggest mistake of this period was?
Oh my God.
But I think definitely
that. Like it was lifestyle creep.
Okay.
It's just that you're like, now I'm earning a little bit more. I think I deserve a little bit of a better life.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with wanting a better life. I don't think there's any other way. And the only other way I would have circumvented that is practicing delayed gratification. Instead of taking loans to do all of these things now, I wish I had the foresight to be like, let me buy this thing one by one. I save for it, pole pole, buy a couch.
Yeah.
Then kidogo save kidogo, buy the fridge.
Yes.
As opposed to like, let me change my life overnight and then I'll pay the loans and all of that.
Do you do that? You think? Are you that type of person?
Like
I think I'm definitely
now. Yeah, you're like
even now, like
me, I'm 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
but
we
me,
will. I have a love-hate relationship with saving. Of course, I can't save, but if I want to buy something now, and I have that money now, I wouldn't think of, let me save it for it to accumulate, and then let's say the remainder and add on to whatever to buy. No.
She's gonna buy. What about
I could die
that?
tomorrow.
Sorry?
I maybe it's an irrational fear of debt.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
In
to
debt.
borrow for nothing.
Or,
We'll talk about that
like
later.
mobile loans and stuff.
Nothing. I don't have Fuliza. I don't have nothing.
I fear everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Also for Fuliza, I got Fuliza last year December, and I only got it because we were having this conversation with my friend, I think, and their limit is like 16,000. I was like, wait, what? It can get to 16,000. So I used to like, so I started with mine. I was like, oh, let me see. So it took me like 3 months for them to like give me a limit of like 0 and then 300, and then I was like, oh, this is how it happens. Like the more, the more you use for your M-Pesa, the more now they add like your limit and stuff. I was like, oh, okay.
So that's
Interesting.
that's how so you grow up poor, and because of that, because of your mindset and your exposure, even when you come into money, you're not a faithful steward of it. Like, you don't know what you're doing, right? So after that happened, obviously that was 2019. So you can imagine, I'm thinking, listen, I have papers, I have proper work experience, at least 4. I'm not entry level. I'll just start applying and I'll get jobs.
Yeah.
Then 2020, COVID.
Oh,
No one is hiring. Everyone is going home, etc. So I wasn't going anywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's nowhere.
Life was like
life when it rains.
Nabado.
Exactly, Nabado.
Hey.
Yeah. So for me, that period taught me 2 things. The way you think about money, and that's what I'm such a, even when I'm coaching my clients, I'm more keen on your money mindset more than I am on how much you earn.
Okay.
Because you see, my mindset around, and let me prove that, my mindset around money at the time was I earn too little. Like 40,000 was just enough for lifestyle, but like I wasn't thinking I can save kidogo, even if it's 5K. Because now what happened in 2020, me with all my degrees and my certifications, I had to do like gig economy jobs. So I was doing online writing, and online writing could pay me 5,000 to 10,000 per month. So I've moved from like earning 40,000 to like 5,000 to 10,000 a month. But because I knew what it is not to have an emergency fund and what the effects of that, now my mindset around it had changed. I was like, there's no such thing as too little money. If my commitment to myself is save 10% of everything I earn, it's simple as, if I earn 40,000, I save 10%. If I earn 10,000, 10% of that. If I earn, so there's no such thing as I earn too little. Because you see, the mindset is, most people think, oh, I'm waiting to get more money, or let's get rich so that we can save or so that we can invest. But it's actually the reverse. You save and invest so that you can get rich. Not waiting to,
I love that. I love that.
So, and that's how I just started. Honestly, I just started with, my commitment initially was just 10%. That's not a standard thing I say you must do that, but that's what I said. I was like, because I'm a Christian also, we do like 10% tithe in church. So I was like, I can give myself 10%. I can pay myself 10% too if I'm giving the church 10%. And that's where I started. So I was just like, listen, I already know these systems and structures exist. Money market funds exist. Why have I never done one? Right? I know I should put money into my pension from as early as my 20s or when we were born, because it's expensive to retire. I know we've done that.
We were sleeping instead of
with you,
bro.
We were breastfeeding
instead of looking for shamba in Kamulu, surely.
Exactly. So that's what changed now, and I feel like that's what formed it formed the foundation of where I am right now, because I stopped. I don't know how to say it, but niliacha kudharau pesa kidogo.
Yes.
You get, like, I stopped looking at money as I need 50 G's. I started asking myself, if I have 10K, if I have 15K, out of this amount, how much can I pay the person who's putting in the hours? Because I'm the one putting in the hours. And if you don't find a way to save from the little you earn, you'll forever be living paycheck to paycheck. So you'll work
like
until the day you die.
hand to mouth.
Yeah, I'll be working till I'm 80. Or if someone wakes up on the wrong side of the bed today and decides they no longer need my work on my services,
Imagine.
I'm at their
I'm done,
mercy.
yeah.
Exactly.
Kabisa.
If like for you guys, brand deals do you go where? Like you know,
because they're not stable. for
Yeah.
two
Yeah, they
weeks.
fluctuate every other time.
Exactly. That's the only guaranteed way of making sure you're taking care of the person who's putting in the work and putting in the hours. I need to have some empathy for future Susan. And because
Yeah.
I have some empathy for future Susan and the dreams and the goals that she has, even though I'm earning this 10 G's, let me put aside 10,000. So, you know, I'm a very practical person. So what did I do? I used to do 1,000 bob in my CIC money market fund. And then I did 500 into a personal pension fund. And I did
As
another,
little as 500 bob.
yeah.
Okay.
And I did another 500 into my circle at the time. And
Imagine.
that's where I started. So everything else.
Amazing.
Yeah. Because, you know, people think.
It sounds so absurd, but
yeah,
it works.
Yeah, it just
What?
does. Because like now, it's like 4 years, okay, maybe 5 years later, between now and 2020, 2020, right?
2020.
I mean,
6 now.
Six
Six
years,
now.
yeah,
We're
exactly.
26,
So it's
yeah.
been maybe a solid, maybe if I count from when I started like earning a little bit and putting aside, it was maybe mid 2020. So between then and now the end of 2025, which is last year, I'd already like fully funded a 12 months emergency fund, doing well in terms of my pension. I'm doing so most people are like, have I ever come into like a crazy amount of money? No. It's just that what we don't realize is that what I was doing in 2020, I was not necessarily building wealth. I was building the discipline and the muscle for when big money starts coming in. If I already
have the systems.
I have the systems and I have the discipline. So if
Amazing.
if I can save 2,000 out of the 10,000 I earn, it means I can save 200,000 out of the 1 million that I
yes.
earn.
And 200 is not ati kidogo money.
Correct.
It'll pinch you a bit when you remove 200k kuipeleka mahali for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So as you build that discipline and consistency, what I noticed is that 2020 comes, 2021, my business starts growing. I stopped doing online writing, obviously, because coaching peaked. Now I'm working with individuals for coaching. I'm working with corporate. So now the big money is coming in because the discipline was there. It's not difficult now. Sometimes Martina knows this. I can't even save half of what I make. Because for me, it's really just, it's the mindset around it and whether you've understood why we are doing what we are doing.
Yeah. Also, you've built routine already. So
Exactly.
it's easier to continue.
So I feel like that's what moved me from broke to where I am now. It's just, do I respect money? However little. I think that's the most foundational thing. Do I respect the coins or the millions that I'm earning? Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
And honestly true, yeah. And I think it's probably a common issue for anyone watching that. Oh, me, I earn too little. Like, I earn like, what, 10K?
Yeah.
Well, Susan has been there, by the way.
Yes.
And look at her now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
So, now, of course, you never went to 9 to 5 again.
Yeah.
Now, it was just now your coaching business, which, by the way, I highly recommend. The Legacy Hub.
Yeah.
She plugged it earlier. So from these people that you coach, you must have coached like how many? Like
Oh, we've coached quite a number of people.
yeah,
Maybe,
like
I can
so
imagine.
many
in
now.
the thousands.
So you've in the
Wow.
thousands,
Yeah.
So obviously now you've seen different money personalities, different incomes, different debt, whatever. But what would you say are like the top 3 biggest money mistakes that people do?
make,
Yeah.
The first one that I already said, I think the whole not respecting money, because money flows where it's respected, right? So
That's a word.
yeah. Money flows where it's respected. So if you're just the moment I meet someone and their mindset is just I earn too little, I'm just like, listen, how you behave with 50K is how you behave with 500. It's how you behave with 5 million.
I usually say sorry.
Yeah.
Like God can't give you more if you are not managing the little
The
you
little
have.
that you have.
Like I take it now to the religion, but it's true.
Yeah. And let me tell you, for me, it's because I've seen it for my own journey, but I've also gotten people from, someone comes to me and they're like, they have a budget of what? Maybe 40,000, like right now. And we're like, we've paid rent, we've put money in the money market funds, maybe we're even doing real estate investment trusts. And someone is just, and there's someone who earns 120 who doesn't do none of that because of the attitude. Because you see, it's not about how much money you make, it's what you do with what you have, right? Let me give you a good example. So someone who earns 50,000 but is able to keep, or rather is able to save or invest maybe 10,000 out of the 50,000 every month, is richer than someone who earns, let's say, 300 grand. And they don't put aside any of that.
Yes.
You know
That is
why?
so true.
Because wealth is what you have after you've spent.
Right.
You understand?
It
So the
doesn't matter
person,
how much you make.
yeah, you could be netting 1.2 for all we know, but like your true, what's yours, what's your wealth,
What's yours?
is what's left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you've spent whatever.
After you've spent.
That's so true.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
So you see sometimes.
Nani trigger. Can I walk out of this and come back later?
Going direct.
Yani. Shing, shing, shing.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's the first mistake. It's not realizing that it has nothing to do with what you earn. It's really just asking, and that's why I like to break this down, because anyone can do personal finances well. From whether you earn 15K to whether you earn 15 million. Because the wealth creation journey is simple. It's make money, keep money, then multiply it. It's like a simple formula. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's you can't save money you don't have. So step number one is make money. You need to have a source of income. And that's when someone comes to me, they're like, hi coach, me, I just live with my mom. I get pocket money for 1,000 bob or whatever. Where can I invest the money? I'm like, that's not what you should be focusing on, honey.
Yeah.
You need to
Try
start
make
with
it.
monetize.
bread.
Yeah, monetize either your time by going to an employer, or monetize a skill or a talent. Monetize something.
Yeah.
So make money. The second thing is, because you don't want to spend everything you make, because remember, wealth is what is left. So you want to keep some of that money. That's what you do in terms of saving. So maybe in another time we can talk about like where we are saving and stuff like that, but like yeah, it could be your typical bank account that I don't recommend. I personally recommend like money market funds, because at least your money is earning a little bit of interest that can compensate you for inflation, right? So that's saving, so keeping money. The third thing, after you've kept some money, so you have a bit of money in your bank, or you have a bit of your money in your money market funds, what you need to understand is that in the grand scheme of things, you cannot save your way to wealth. So you have to invest. So now that's where the you can't just be putting money in the MMF and the bank and saying, oh, I'm gonna be a rich auntie one
That's what I'm
day.
doing so far.
No, Martina, that's not what we are doing. We have a plan.
Okay, we have a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to keep money for a while. You know
Yeah.
why? Because you can't invest money you don't have.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
once we are able to like have surplus, you're like, oh, my emergency fund is
That's
sorted.
amazing. So one thing just leads to another, to another, to the other.
Exactly.
Okay, amazing.
So that's the first mistake. So just don't look at money as though money is a tool.
Yeah.
And especially right now, because there are so many opportunities, we have accounts you can fund with as little as 100 bob, so anyone can access it. Yeah. The second mistake is the immediate gratification thing.
Yeah.
The overnight success thing.
Me, I'm listening.
Address directly.
I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
No, but these all of us.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
for
all
sure.
of us.
These
It's all of
us.
us. So when someone tells you that, hey, this thing is going to take time, it's going to take serious amounts of years to get to that version of rich auntie I have of myself in my head. So, and this is where a lot of young people are losing money. Because when I remember the first amount I put in the MMF, we used to do this for clients, and we were doing this when you're handling high net worth clients, you're working in hundreds of thousands, if not millions. So you're seeing the interest that they're making every month. So me, I knew, nikianza kufanya hii MMF na umoka, nikaweka 5,000. And then I got 23 shillings at the end of the month as my interest. And in my mind, I'm just thinking,
What?
excuse me, what?
23 bob.
What?
Mad, yeah.
How will this move the needle for me? Like, what are we
Yes.
doing? You understand? So again, I think when we start our investment journey, that's the initial experience. You're investing a little bit of money, but our attitude is like, it's like I'm supposed to just Omoka overnight.
Omoka,
You
yes.
understand? And this is why Kenyans are very easily conned, and we lose money in pyramid schemes every year. There's a specific one or two where people have lost money.
100%.
If it is not
We want
forex,
quick fixes,
we want quick fixes, because someone is asking you, hey, don't put that 5k in the money market fund because it will only make you 30 shillings or however much. Later nikuwekee kwa forex, this 5,000 will be multiplied to 15 in 30 days.
30 days, 3 hours.
3 hours unapata hiyo pesa, yeah. So we don't understand. One of the best books I've read, and I recommend it, is a book by Morgan Housel. It's called The Psychology of Money. And I learned something that I'd never learned before. So we all talk about like Warren Buffett. He's one of the like dollar billionaires of the world, and he made his money in the stock market. So when everyone is saying, no, you know, you can buy shares, you can trade S&P 500, whatever, like we really refer to him. And one of the things that I learned is that by the time we were coming to hear of Warren Buffett making all this money in the stock market, do you know this guy started investing at the age of 11?
11.
Yes,
We're
11
so
years
late.
old, exactly. And we were hearing of Warren when he was like in his 40s. That's when people started hearing of this guy, right? So that's the second mistake. And this is hard to swallow, but you have to accept it. The best way to grow, or rather to get wealthy, is to grow wealth slowly, because that's what's sustainable in the long term.
Yeah.
The moment you want that overnight success thing, you've completely lost the plot, because we make money primarily through what we call compounding.
Yeah.
And compounding is a factor of time.
Yes.
Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
Correct, yeah.
But only if you
Have
give
the,
it time.
exactly,
Give it
only if you
time.
give it time. So you see, especially for us young guys, you don't want to hear that. Kwanza, us, the way we are moving, we are like, we want to do what our parents did in 50 years in 2 years.
2 years.
And with an inflation rate
Correct.
of whatever.
So, but you want by 30, you bought the house, the apartment, you have the
car.
car, you have whatever, you've done the wedding, you cash and whatever. Like we want to do things that, you know, take time. You understand?
Yeah.
Or maybe someone even saying, hey, I'm 23. By the time I'm 27, I want passive income of 100,000 every month.
Bruh.
I'm like, please show me where we are investing this money to make
To-
this
yes.
much. Yeah. So that's the second mistake. And then I think the third mistake that I've seen mostly is hard mentality. Hard mentality is, Ajib posted on her stories that she's doing X. And then because we like to invest because our friends, our influencers are doing, like we do not invest any time whatsoever or any resources to acquire financial literacy for ourselves. So what are we doing? We are investing because Ajib is investing there.
So
We are doing this because my auntie works there. So because sometimes I ask people, how did you even end up in this thing? It's like, oh, you know, my sister was recommended by her friend. I was like, did you understand what you were investing in?
Yeah.
They didn't, but because I trusted Martina, or I trust my mom or my auntie who works there, then I feel like it's as though it absolves me of the responsibility of financial literacy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But then you see at the end of the day, when we lose money, it won't be as a group.
Peke yako.
Yeah. So maybe you're competing with a trust fund baby. This trust fund baby loses this 2 million. It's just a drop in the ocean.
Yes.
For me, this is all the money I had between me and poverty. So that's why I'm saying personal finance is very personal. The best investment you can make, especially for people who are like for your audience, early 20s, maybe even early 30s, before you start putting your money anywhere in terms of growth, invest in financial literacy, because that's what will pay you the best return. You know why? You won't get conned easily. No one will mislead you to buy the wrong product at the wrong time with the wrong amount of money. The more you invest in like the knowledge and the information, it's something that will keep paying even when you're in your 50s and 60s, because you'll make the right decisions now. So I think those are the three main things.
One thing I came to my mind when you said this last one is, but I trust you, Susan. I trust you to tell me where to put my money.
You better educate yourself too.
So I shouldn't trust you?
No, don't trust anyone. Don't. No, really. I mean, genuinely. Like, I'm like, because you see, and here's the thing. That's a really good question, Martina.
Yeah. For people that are thinking maybe
exactly. Don't just watch a YouTube video and like for someone. I'm not saying don't try, but I'm saying take that information and then synthesize it for yourself. You understand?
Yeah.
You're like, So it's like, Martina, for example, I told you to open X money market funds,
Yeah.
or we need to set this up, we need to set the other thing up, right? I'm pretty sure if I asked you to explain that to Ajib, you would explain it. Like
Not as well
for
as you
example,
do.
no, but you know the premise behind the account. Like, why did we
Yes.
open a sinking fund, for example?
Yes,
And
but
has
I don't
it
know, for
been
example,
working? Yeah.
the interest rate, for example, I don't know it.
Yeah,
If I'm honest with you.
if you're honest, so that's on you. You
It's on
understand? So
me.
it's on
Yeah.
you. You understand? So it's things
Yeah.
like that. It's you there. When I say due diligence, I mean understand that investment in such a way you can explain it to T. Like, you can, if someone asks you, why is your money in this account, you can be, because A, it gives me capital preservation, and that's needed for an emergency fund. B, it's giving me X interest, so that's compensating me for inflation. And 3, I'm able to fund at any time and remove at any time, so whenever I have emergencies, it's this quick to get my money out. But it's also not sitting in my bank account, not earning any interest. You understand? Just the basics of why this specific account, how does it work. So a lot of us are just like, oh, but Nani told me, it's obviously I'm a professional and I wouldn't mislead my clients.
Yeah.
But even
Please.
then Martina is already like,
We are like,
Martina is like,
Cuts.
and then she's like, is my money safe? Yeah, so I always say invest, because I also think, like, for example, you coming for coaching is investing. You know why? You didn't take a random recommendation that I've said online and just went and said, Suzanne said on one of her YouTube videos to do X, and then you went ahead and did X. We've done quite a bit of work in terms of like, what are our goals, what are the timelines, and why this account. So make sure you educate yourself.
and you have explained these things to me. It's just me, maybe I don't remember.
Yeah.
So,
So I would say those are the 3 main mistakes. Yeah.
So you would say it's rather a lack of mindset or systems rather than lack of money, like, or earning little.
Hey, money. See, when you know making money is
Anyone can make money.
anyone
by
can
the way.
make
Anyone can
money.
make money, man.
Yeah, with the right skill sets and attitude, I think it's easier to make money than it is to know what to do with it.
Oh,
once it
definitely.
comes.
Yeah. I feel like sustaining it is usually now the hard part. Because also, I feel like now in our generation kwanza now with like content creators and influencers, everyone is getting into it. And then now the older generation, ni kama pesa mob iko hapo. So now I feel like black tax is more.
Yeah.
So you'll get a lot of 20-year-olds who are like paying bills, they're educating their younger ones. So now you see, for them, saving money is just but a thought. Because of course now they can save money, yes, but now there's money to go where, money to go where, money to go where, money to go where.
It's not a priority.
And then it's not a priority at all. At all. Me, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah, talk about yourself.
By the time you're thinking about saving money, itakaa for like a week, and then you'll get something to do with the money for you get like, oh fuck, I was like, I was supposed to do this. Unaenda pale kwa savings, unaitoa tu. Now you're
The savings, it's coming
back to my account. Now pesa inaenda tu hivi. So yeah, I think most of the struggles sahi ni hiyo.
The black tax issue, I've dealt with that like since I knew myself again. And I think for me, I don't know, maybe I can give a few pointers, because honestly, I
Wait,
hear
sorry.
you
Let me
on
cut
the
you short
black tax.
kidogo.
Yeah.
Not more on the black tax, is more on the managing everything at once.
Yeah.
Ni venye tu umesema mara kwanza that you can even save the little money you have. So ni watu kutojua that, oh, even if I spend, or rather I pay bills on this and this, ile pesa itabaki, I can still save it.
Yeah.
Without the mentality of
It needs to be a lot.
It needs to be exactly. Actually, nimo umeongelesha exactly.
Yeah.
Without it needing to be a lot. Yeah.
But please do give the pointers on black tax, because I think also
Yes.
everyone listening must have dealt
Yes.
with it.
Yeah. I think with black tax, and I always like to say this, especially from someone who came from a genuinely poor family. I think a lot of the advice around black tax out here is very, how do I put it? Privileged.
Okay.
So someone is just like, just say
no,
or just draw boundaries. But then it's not a blanket rule.
Just like that.
Yeah, for me, what I did for myself, and also what I help my clients do, is to understand the root cause of black tax. first of all. In your situation, there is no blanket cause. So there are two reasons black tax could be a highlight in your life. A, because of systemic poverty. Like in my case, it's just no one has money. You're the first one to go to uni in that whole family.
And how did you go to uni?
So
Who paid for school fees?
Help. Do you guys know? Does she know help? Do you know
I don't
help?
think so.
No.
So in Kitambo, I don't know what they call it now, but like Kitambo, the government used to give student loans for then you will pay. So it's like a student
Yeah,
loan.
you of course you'll pay.
Now I
afterwards.
don't know whether they've changed the name or like
I feel like it's still called
still
help.
but I know us we
I
were
want to
called
assume.
Jab was,
Yes.
and then now there's something else they are calling it. So there was government sponsored students and then self-sponsored, I believe, because I went to KU. In fact, we were even in two different classes. So there was a K16 jab. K16 people, let me know if you're in the comment section. Because I know kuna watu wa K16.
Yeah.
So K16 and then there's K16S. So K16X were S were the ones who were self-sponsoring.
Okay.
Not that this education quality was different, but I don't know why KU structured it in such a way that we had two different classes. Yeah. So for me, help was what, in fact, it was supposed to pay my school fees and pay my upkeep. So at some point, by the time I was in second year, I was already selling earrings, deras, everything that I can get to sell so that I can actually get food. Because there's no calling home. Like the moment I start my semester and my school fees has been paid, there's zero opportunity to call back home to ask for money. Because no one has money. That's the thing.
Is home calling you though?
No. Now at school,
this time,
at this time,
okay.
no, we are just making.
Because I'm wondering, because
we are making do in our Mabati house. Like rent was like at that time rent was like 3,000 shillings. Because it's like a single house. It's slum areas. Huko chini. I grew up somewhere called Zima. So in Zima, man, there's Zima, and then there's Zima place they used to call. Hey, guys, don't judge me. It used to be called Gaza. So Gaza is like a small slum within Zimmerman. Because of how you've grown up, like there's no one to call back home. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's no one to call back home. So now, so back to the black tax conversation. Because of that, so that's what I say. Number one, you need to establish why black tax exists in your life. Because for me, it was a case of systemic poverty. And systemic poverty, as much as you can tell people, draw boundaries, say no, etc. It's just something that it's not your fault. It's not their fault. It's systemic. It's where you are. It's where it's the reality of where you come from, right? So always ask yourself, am I paying black tax because it's needed? Because of where I come from, like this is genuine poverty, or am I enabling bad behavior? So are you helping or are you enabling? Because those two people will have a very different experience with black tax. When I say enabling is, let me give you a good example of helping, even using my own personal example, and enabling.
Yeah.
Okay. So at some point, my younger brother is in uni now. I've just started working, right? And then it's gotten to this point where my folks are struggling to raise the money for his fee. So in that scenario, I pick it up and I'm like, okay, let's all just Diana and see whether we can meet the amount he needs per semester. And he didn't get a hostel. So now you're looking at school fees, you're looking at rent, and you're looking at upkeep. Yeah?
Yep.
So had I not stepped in at the time that I did, the reality is that hangeenda shule. It's not that, like, we're not enabling nothing. It's just a real need.
A reality.
It's a reality. If I don't do it, he won't go to school. Now, what is enabling? He finishes school. He's done his certifications. Now he has credentials and he's grown. At this particular point, if I am still financing that boy's lifestyle, what am I doing?
Enabling. For sure.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you want to ask yourself, because sometimes people come and tell me, oh, I'm helping my older sister. I'm helping her raise her children. I'm like, is this person unwell? Mentally? Physically? What is the reason? When they laid down to make a baby, you were the financial plan for taking care of this baby, for example. Like, you want to find out, like, unless, like, if I'm paying for somebody's lifestyle, there has to be justification for why I'm paying a full adult's So you see, a lot of our family members sometimes want to be choosy. They're like, oh, me, I can't sell my eye in the streets, for example, because Ajib is a content creator and she's my cousin. I can always call her for pocket money.
Yeah.
For instance, you understand? So when you continue to finance that person's lifestyle, in fact, you're doing them a disservice. You're not giving them an opportunity or a chance to A, think out of the box, B, think about what they can do with their time, or at least what is in their hand. Do you realize that when I lost my job and I was working like at an investment company, I didn't say, oh, may I have a degree, I have this certification, may I can be doing online writing to be paid 200 bob per page. Like, you can't choose.
But the fact is, you're broke.
You're broke.
So
you need the money.
You need the money.
Yep.
So you see, if there was someone who was just, I honestly believe that there's a form of character that we build when we really are pushed to the wall, to the point of now I have to think about how can I finance my lifestyle. I want to live in this bedsitter. How am I paying for it? Heck, some people will even call to ask for money for nails. I'm like, that's
We've
not a
lost the
necessity.
plot.
We lost the plot.
Yeah. So first of all, identify whether you're helping or enabling. I can't tell you which one is what, but sometimes for me, I've always said that genuinely someone who's like, for our older parents who are like, not employable, not pensionable, maybe unwell, for young vulnerable children, like when my younger brother was a minor and stuff like that. They're just genuine situations where there's need to actually help. But I don't believe in financing grown people's lifestyles for without proper, like, is this person unwell? Are they mentally unstable? Or for whatever reason they're not able to? Because some people just don't want to go and live in a bedsitter in Zimmerman. They still want to live in Langata in a 1-bedroom and they want you to finance that. I'm like, are we living within our means, first of all? Yeah. So that's the first thing. So the moment you identify you're enabling, you're the drama. I don't care how many phone calls you're getting, you're the drama. One, because you have people pleasing tendencies, so you don't want to say no.
That's a big one in this podcast.
Yeah, because you're like, you don't want to be the black sheep of the family. You don't want people to say money changed her, money, whatever, aliomoka kasahau, where she came from, and stuff like that. Like, you don't want to deal with people. I've always told people, your responsibility is to draw the boundary and to communicate the boundary. That's it. Don't try to control what other people's reactions to your boundaries are. So, and I've had this conversation several, even on my stories. I keep asking people, why are you suffering? There are people who are like, oh, 2026, I'm going to go no contact with these people. I'm like, that's a very lazy way of dealing with black tax. Make noise where it matters. Don't make noise to your friends. Don't make noise on social media. Go sit down with your parent, because maybe your parent does not know how difficult life is for you in Nairobi. You've never, have you actually told them you're in debt because of black tax? You understand? So there's a lot of communicate the boundaries, but then don't try to control. So if your parent is unhappy, they're sad, some African parents will obviously curse you and be like, guilt trip you and all of that. That's their reaction to you communicating the boundary.
Got nothing to do with you.
It got nothing to do with you. So what most of us are trying to do is we're trying to control our family's emotions and feelings. So now you take it as your responsibility that they're sad, they're angry, they're whatever. And you know what you do? You violate your own boundary. And that's the worst thing you can ever do, because when you violate your own boundary, what you've done is you've told them, this girl, if I push her hard enough, she will still go back to do it. So you need to find the mental and emotional fortitude to stick to your boundaries. That is in the case of enabling. But in the case of genuine helping, which was the case for me, for example, you need to find a way to weave in black tax in your budget.
Okay.
So budgeting for
it. So don't bury your head under the sand and pretend it's not happening.
It is, because it is.
Yeah, your mother will call you. You need to help out with this, that, or the other. A medical bill here. Maybe you have a diabetic parent. Those people need medicine every month and stuff like that. So you want to try and weave it in your budget, but also very realistically. So the question is, how much can I afford to do it? And make sure also that is communicated. So that they also know and they understand that Susan or Martina or Ajib can only help up to this point
amount,
or up to this amount per month. And then just listen, leave the rest to Jesus. You're not Jesus. Like, you can't take care of everyone. So like, if my mother needs 20,000 and I can only do 10, I'm not trying to get into debt to supplement the other 10. I'm helping to the ability that I can. Then leave your mother to Jesus. Jesus is her father. they
He
will
will
be
provide.
taken care
He
of.
will
They will
provide.
be taken care of. Exactly. Because also think about it like this. Imagine if I dropped dead today. Would they also die?
They will find a way, surely.
They'll find a way.
Exactly.
Everyone
That's
will,
a good way of looking at it.
everyone will find a
That's
way.
how I killed black tax for me.
Yeah.
I just, there's a day I just, especially after I lost my job, I was like, there was no one in my contact list that I could call and ask for 1,000 bob when I needed it. But like, I was everyone's go-to person when I had money. And now, because I'm jobless, I've lost it. Do you know, I lost friends, I lost connections. And because like 2020, 2021, 2022, even after I started the Legacy Hub, I was on a bare bones budget, a necessities only budget. Because remember, I came into this situation with debt.
Yes.
So I am trying to save
Pay
for the
off.
emergency fund. I'm also trying to pay off. So I'm definitely not contributing for 5,000 for baby showers. This 5,000 could pay Tala. You understand? So I missed out on people's weddings, baby showers, bridal showers.
You locked in.
Yeah. So the friends I have right now, they're my rock, because they're the people that stayed
Right or
in
dice,
that
yeah.
exactly in that season where I'm like, I know I would really love to buy you a birthday gift.
But-
I'd really want to show up for this hangout, but honestly, unless you guys pay for me, I can't. In this season that I'm in,
You were honest.
I can't. And this is the other thing maybe I can add for mistakes. If you're in a friendship group or you have friends around you where saying no is not accepted, or saying I can't afford this feels shameful, there's a problem.
There's a problem for sure.
Yeah, because
Yes.
there's no
Peer
shame.
pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no shame in saying I can't afford this.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. And it should actually be okay. And there's no awkwardness in the group. So I think that's really, really key in terms of just focusing on, and just the whole issue of black tax. You have to lock in, and you have to be like communication, boundaries. So boundaries with family, boundaries with friends, and even boundaries with yourself.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Sahi, one of the mistakes people make, personally, people trying to fit in. As you said before, someone will see Ajib has done this on social media, and they would try to fit
in.
to whatever class Ajib is in, you get.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't, you don't know what my means are. You know,
Exactly.
you don't know what anyone's means are.
Yeah.
Kabisa. But you still want to be in the same bracket, because I see Ajibako 20, so and so. So me peniko 26, we have to be doing this at the same time. People don't get growth za watu ni tofauti. I feel like people they feel the need to fit in to a certain group. That's why I partially don't like social media.
And the peer pressure never ends.
It never does.
You see, now I have a son, and it's now he's 1.5 years old, so now we are starting to kind of like look into what schools will he go to and stuff like that. We move from peer pressure of where do you do your nails to where do your children
go to school? Yes.
To which car are you driving?
My
to which
God.
neighborhood do you live? Even these two shoshos who are 60, hey, they are peer pressuring. Like, there's no one who does not have peer pressure. So if you do not understand the boundaries now, even in your 60s, you'll be keeping up.
Yeah.
You'll be trying to keep up with people. You won't be walking your walk, running your race. You'll just be looking at what other. And then there's a day, oh my God, the first ever TV appearance that I had on NTV. I said something that got me into so much trouble, but I keep repeating it, and I'll repeat it here.
Okay.
After all these years of coaching and dealing with, we talk money with people one-on-one. How much are you earning? How much, Martina, we go granular. How much went to entertainment? How much went to whatever? And I just concluded that Nairobi is a city full of broke people trying to convince other broke people that they're not broke. We're just like, if we were all being honest.
I agree with that segment.
Yeah,
I agree with that segment.
And then naona tunaogopana. Unajua, tunaweza kuwa tumekuwa kwa friendship group, the three of us, for like 5 years. And we've never asked each other, babes, how much do you earn? Genuinely. Or, are you in debt? Or how do you budget? Like, it's like, if you're not good enough for me to talk money with, then you're not good enough for me to enjoy money with.
Yes.
Like, we need to, you understand? Because I'm like, tunakula pesa, go out, and maybe me, I'm going home, I'm like, that money for that night out came from Tala. So I'm the only one in debt trying to...
And everyone else is not.
And everyone, maybe even my mother gave me 50,000 and be like, baby girl, go spoil yourself because I'm a trust fund baby. And then this other person is financing her lifestyle with Tala and whatnot. So it's very, the peer pressure thing, I hear you, Ajib, on that. It's very, it doesn't end. I don't think it's a kitambo. We used to be told like it's when you're young, but no,
It doesn't
By the
end.
way, no.
it never.
It
We are
doesn't end.
competing. Mtoto wako ako Montessori, mtoto sijui anafanya
Yeah,
Cambridge,
yeah.
kesho ni umenunua Jeep, bado you're driving this Mazda. You know,
Because people will shame you.
Yeah.
Even like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't have a car.
yeah, why you Ubering?
Yeah, like
You understand? So you can't even fit in the
yeah. Or for example, with this, everyone knows by now I want to buy a car, right?
yeah.
And you see people left and right buying Mercedes or whatever. Okay, to be fair, I just don't like
Compact cars. How
so
low it is.
I like more like bigger cars, and also because I have a son.
I also
Yeah.
love SUVs.
So I want like family car.
Yeah.
But imagine if I felt like, oh my god, I can't buy my Mazda CX-3, which is the one I want to buy.
Exactly.
I need to buy this Mercedes.
Yeah.
And now
Because that's what people are.
that's something I told myself, like, I can never decide, let other people decide my future money.
Exactly.
Like, I can never do that. That will be now my grave.
yeah. That would be your biggest mistake now.
Although I do feel like sometimes it must get to me. Maybe not with cars.
Even to me.
Yeah,
Even
maybe
to
not
me.
with cars, but
Even
maybe with
to
other
me.
things that I personally value more.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing with the day and age we are living in. There's no one who's immune.
Yeah.
I've done several
None.
things out of peer pressure.
Yeah.
Like I've attended I've gone to, like, for example, like I'll see your lifestyle influencers posting about a particular like joint, and I'm like, Martina went there, Ajib went there. Feels like everyone is having brunch there.
Yeah,
Let me just go check out what this is all about. Like you get, like no one is immune. I don't think we are trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
For me, I've always said be mindful. I'm very pro value-based spending. I've occasionally found myself like, and I know, Martina, you know this, we track our expenses on Money Manager. For me, why I'm very religious, I've done that since 2021. And every month I do my end month money date. I'm forced to transfer the data from Money Manager onto my spreadsheet to see. So when I see entertainment at 40,000, I ask myself, Susan Wanjiku mbiti, kaa hapa chini kidogo.
I called myself for a meeting.
Yes.
Now, if you see mine, you will chase me out of this room. We will talk next week. We will talk next. You will see for yourself.
You know?
Entertainment.
It
do be entertaining.
Hebu niambie, wewe ni duchess of wapi?
Sometimes I get home, I'm like, do are you running a cartel somewhere, or Jesus, you have a mafia man funding your lifestyle? Because Ajib, can you calm down?
Yeah, why? So
Yeah.
you know why that's so important, and this is one of the other hacks I give people. Please have a monthly money date with yourself. Stop waiting for end of year to do this. Let me review my year. Let me set new year goals. You know, I catch myself before I lose my mind. Like I'm like, January and February, I was acting like a crazy person. That's what I did. I acted like a crazy person. So you see, because you're mindful. You've seen the numbers.
Yeah.
You're aware. So you're like, anyway, March. Now I'm being very like, I'm like, is there a need? Is it necessary? Is it funding? Is it helping me get to where I need to be? So that's why you'll notice like there are months I'll just be like, hey, even if we do go out, maybe a hack I land. And we do this a lot even with my husband, because we have like weekly date nights. So we started doing this thing where we eat in the house. Like when we're not on every month, but like on the months we're feeling like money is tight.
Yeah.
Exactly. Imagine we'll cool at home and then we'll go out for desserts.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Also, that's cute. Come on.
Just a drink or
Yeah, or
whatever.
just a mocha or
Yeah,
something. It's
yeah.
we've still achieved the goal of
Yes.
spending time together.
Yes.
We just
Smart.
did not do 3,000 per person for a meal and a drink
Yeah.
or whatever. You get? So it's those that mindfulness kind of like helps you catch yourself before you've just completely blown your budget for this.
One heck of an episode, this one, guys.
I feel like we're all learning so much. I hope you guys are learning so much. And also, I will add something that I've learned, or something that budgeting, or not budgeting, but tracking my
The
expenses.
expenses.
Because I use Money Manager now since you told me to. Sometimes we have like holes in our
Spending
money.
loopholes, exactly.
Yeah,
You don't
spending loopholes. Like,
Yeah.
why am I paying this subscription from 2 years ago and I'm not using this thing anymore? And you didn't even realize that's happening. So now when you track your expenses and you do the
It's when
money
you
day thing,
notice,
now
yeah.
you are aware and you'll be like, oh my God, let me cancel
And you
this.
see, that's the thing. Let me tell you the most intimidating thing I've ever done, guy, was to track my expenses. Let me tell you, most people don't see the numbers.
I'm afraid. I don't think
Yeah.
also, embarrassing to say, but I don't think I ever have.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
never
I've
tracked my
only done
expenses.
it last year. I've only done it
I've
last
never.
year.
Like,
Yeah.
let alone
Most people
monthly,
don't.
yearly. Naweza anguka hapa
Most people
nijirai, bro.
Yeah.
I think
when you see
I'm
the
scared.
numbers,
I think I'm
exactly,
scared
when
for
you
sure.
see the numbers, it's, and I call it facing your finances.
It pains you.
At some point, you will have to sit down and really, really face your, like, ask yourself, by the way, where does my money go? Because for me, that's what accelerated my investment journey. As I've told you, I started doing this in 2021. All along, I just used to think I'm too broke to do things. And then you start realizing, here, X amount is just going to drinks or hanging out. This other X amount has just gone to Uschana, girly stuff.
Yeah,
Like there's
just a
all
girl.
you know, I'm just a girl, and then you realize. And me, I've been saying, so say I'm spending 40 G's on just enjoyment, but I'm saying I don't have 5,000 to put in a personal pension fund. Who's the clown here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, So when you, what Martina is saying, when you actually start tracking your expenses and you're really faithful, because Money Manager demands that once
Money
Martina,
Manager is an app,
yeah,
by
it's
the
an
way.
app.
You guys should download it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we use it. The way we do Money Manager is that, you see, we have a budgeting spreadsheet. I think I'll leave it in the description box, and then you
Okay.
guys can put it there
Yeah.
for anyone who's interested. So it's 750 shillings really. It's I try to make it as affordable as possible. So people don't like spreadsheets, or rather, a lot of people don't like spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And then when you're hanging out with Martina and you guys are at the social house, you don't have a spreadsheet in front of you to enter. I bought shrimp for this much,
Yeah.
or I had, But what we always have in our hand is our phone. Always, right? So that's why, remember, that's what we are trying to do for our clients. We want to make personal finance so personal, like we want to bring it to your level, right? So every time you take an Uber, you just feed in the app. Hey, I paid 240 for an Uber. Your mom calls, is like, hey, nahitaji pesa ya chama. You send 2,000 for her chama. This other day, it's someone's baby shower, birthday, whatever. We are changaing 5K. You track. You paid rent, you track. You buy tokens, you track. All of that.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the month, this app has a very nice statistics graph with numbers from the highest spend to the lowest spend. So it tells you exactly how much went to fun, exactly how much went to buying lip glosses. Why are we buying so many lip glosses in Nairobi?
Because our lip gloss is like 5,000 shillings.
You
like,
know,
what's going
interestingly-
on?
What do you mean? Bro?
It can be, babe. Imagine.
If you continue with this, I'll crash out. In fact, happy birthday to everyone for the rest of the year. If you're pregnant, congratulations for the rest of the year.
It's
I
so
don't
funny
want none of
'cause
this.
before I came here, I just bought 2 lip glosses.
Bro.
And you're here bashing people. Surely.
We live and learn.
You know, so you see, when you do that, you begin to see what Martina is saying. They're spending loopholes. All along you thought you can't invest. All along you thought you can't start paying towards an apartment. All along you thought you cannot buy that car cash. All along that's what you thought. And then when you start tracking your expenses, you start to realize, but then if I just close this loophole and I fix this and I start saying no here, I have a whopping 15,000 that can go towards my wealth creation journey. Or I have a whopping 40,000 that, like, this girl is investing. Msichana si wachekeshe hapa. She's investing serious amounts of money. And
Saving
before,
rather, no?
yeah, exactly. But you see, it's very... I think it's very inspirational to see it, especially when I know when we started, it was like, oh my God, I don't know where my money is going.
Yeah.
I don't know. And when you start actually looking is when you realize, I can make a change here, I can make a change there. And we still leave room for luxury buys, no?
Yeah.
We still leave room for fun and entertainment. We
Yeah.
still leave room for like a guilt-free spending budget. How much do you want? 20,000, just for you not to account for anyone. Good. We'll just put put it in like your mshwari or whatever. I'm like, please. But the moment the 20,000 is
Imeisha,
over,
ni hivo.
till next month.
Oh my
Sit
God.
down.
Yeah,
Sit down.
just when you want to hang out, just hang out in the house
Please.
and eat food that is in the fridge.
You're like gonna spend time in my house this year. I didn't even choke, just so you know. Me, I've already told you.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
very that's really I think Money Manager is something I'd recommend to everyone. So you just track your expenses, face your finances. Once you do that, you'll begin to see just where the rain is beating you, and at least you can sort it out early. Yeah.
So I want to touch briefly on debt because, as I said earlier, I am fearful of debt a lot. Like, woo, I never want to find myself
in that situation.
Like, in my view, it's like, if I can afford it, then I can buy it. If I cannot afford it, let me not buy. But I do know, because, well, I've been trying to, become more financially, I do know that there is like productive debt, let's call it. Like,
good debt.
Good debt.
Debt.
So please just touch briefly on that.
Yeah, what is good debt? What is bad debt?
Yeah.
When is
when
debt
is it good?
debt?
When is it bad? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So simply put, good debt is any money that you take out to help you with two things. Either it will impact how much money you can make, so income generation or wealth creation. Okay? Yeah. Bad debt is any consumer debt. It is money I've taken to go for a trip with my girls in Dubai, and the only thing I'll have to show for it in 5 years is the photos that I went to Dubai. Like, it's
But
consumer.
what of the memories?
Yeah, and the memories. That's all I have to show for it, right? So financially speaking, we want to minimize or completely eliminate consumer debt as much as possible. And that is the reason I feel like a lot of us have a negative relationship with debt, because we've only experienced consumer debt, bad debt. So we've not yet gotten maybe exposure or experience in how can I leverage other people's money to work for me. So let me give examples of good debt. Like, for example, student loans are actually considered good debt in a way, because I take this loan, I go to school, and because I've gone to school and gotten papers, I'll command a higher income than maybe someone who didn't go to school. So you see, the grand scheme of things, that's a good debt. In most instances, even mortgages are considered good debt, because you've taken out a loan to own this apartment or to buy a house. Eventually you'll finish paying it. I don't know when you will, especially in the Kenyan market. At least now we have KMRC loans. They're a bit more affordable. At around 9.5%. So once you finish paying the loan, you can either collect rent, you can set up an Airbnb, you could even live there. So now you're saving on rent. So all of that is good debt. If you take a loan to expand the business, and it's a very strategic word, I've used expand not to start, because you see, when sometimes when we are starting a business, we are usually, and that is a good thing, it's not a bad thing. I think you need a level of delulu to succeed anywhere in life, but sometimes the business doesn't pan out exactly as maybe you hoped or you planned for it to be. So I, as a personal finance coach, I highly discourage people taking loans for like a completely new business, because you want to explore other options. I don't know, bootstrapping, taking maybe like what we call soft loans from like friends or family, etc. Like, before you go hard on like X bank to give you like a loan at unsecured loan at 17% per annum, you're really risking it, because what will happen is that, let's even assume the business doesn't pan out, it all goes down. Remember, Stanchart, KCB, and CB are still expecting you to pay them back. They don't care whether
no, they don't.
Exactly, whether the business went under or not. So we always just encourage. I'm such a big believer in think big, but start small and start now. So like, let me start, like, for example, just this year is when I set up offices for my business, and I've done it for 5 years. I was running a fully virtual business, because I didn't have proof of concept that, hey, let me go get an office and be paying 80 Gs every month. just so that I can post on social media and say these are our office
This is-
premises and
yeah.
stuff like that. On one end, did it lose me a little bit of business? Yes, it did, because some people are like, oh, this is a one-woman show, I'm not working with her. And there are people, majority of the people don't care as long as they're getting the service that they've paid for. So I've done a lot of coaching, because actually even majority of our clientele are like Kenyans in the diaspora. So you get, as long as you have an internet and a Zoom connection, you can get financially literate.
Yes.
And that's what I banked on until when the business got to a point where we have proof of concept. Like, we've seen the books, we've seen the cash flow, and now this business can sustain setting up offices. This business can sustain hiring a team. So let's assume you've started selling clothes, for instance. Sell them online. Have one of your bedrooms, do your product photo shoots with your phone. Eventually you grow to the point now you can hire professional photographers to do the content creation.
Yes.
With time now, the orders are like, the business will eventually ask for it. At that particular point, it's now expansion. So if I take this loan from this X bank or this circle, for example, there's already proof of concept that the business can afford paying back this loan. In fact, this expansion will result in ×3 or ×4 of the income I'm already making. So you see, that's also considered good debt, because it's going to form the foundation. You leverage on it to be able to maybe import more stock, set up a shop, because your clients have been like, hey, I want to come and fit the clothes from there or whatever. So you see that way, even if you take that loan, it's a good debt. Yeah. So bad debt is just consumer. It's money I'm borrowing because I didn't budget enough. Now mwezi imefika 25th. Unaona ile kona mbaya ya mwezi. So now, now you need to take to pay rent, to pay your elec and stuff like that. That's what's bad debt, because there's nothing to show for it at the end of it. And then you become dependent on it. Yeah? So good debt is anything that can help you accumulate more wealth or command a higher income, while bad debt is just consumer loans. So a lot of the experience we have is just the consumer debt. It's the same nightmare that a lot of the Western countries have right now, which is creeping now to us, which is the credit card nightmare. Because exactly. So
I'll never understand that.
Exactly. So in the States alone, people are trillions in debt just with credit card debt.
Yes.
It's like how we are doing with mobile loans here. It's like, some people cannot. I know for a fact that a very huge percentage of people would not imagine what their lives would be without mobile lending. Like, if today all these companies shut down,
it would be over.
And we were required to just live off of what we are earning.
Yeah. What?
It would be a problem. Exactly. So that's how to separate.
Did you take a loan for the expansion of the offices?
No. We've bootstrapped.
Period.
Because it's also been 5 years.
So you had time, yeah?
So by 2020, I already knew at some point. 2022, sorry. I already knew at some point. Because in 2022 is when I decided I'm officially unemployable. Because I applied, I was still applying. Even as I didn't believe in what I do, that it was sustainable. So for me, it was like maybe like a leeway to the next thing. So it's like, before I get another job, let me just be doing this thing as a side gig. So around 2022 is when I was like, okay, this could be a thing that I do full time.
So you already could plan from that.
Yeah, now from there I'm like, okay, eventually I'll need this, I'll need that, and there's so much. There's so much that I'm yet to do. It's just that I'm just like, there at some point. So I'm like you, because of the bad experience I had with bad debt, I'm also working on building my relationship with good debt. Because even right now, what I need to do, I've built enough credit I've built enough finances in my account, even in my circle, to borrow for certain things that I know would benefit me or would benefit the business in terms of wealth creation and income.
But those now would be good debts.
Yeah, it would be good debts, but I'm still afraid. Yeah, because for me, I'm just like, I know what I went through. Do you know these people call you like 7 times a day? The mobile loans, I don't know whether they stopped, because it's been a minute since I've never, like, since 2021 I've been debt free, or rather at some point 2022 is when I completely finished like my HELB loan and my circle loan. So I've been debt free since 2022 officially, and I've never touched debt again.
Even good debt.
Even good debt,
Okay.
man.
I get it. Like, you
even
see.
good debt. So sometimes my friends who have a healthier relationship with money are like, but Susan, all these things you're saying you need funding for raising money, why don't you take advantage of the facilities you already have with your circle or the facilities you already have with your bank? So hopefully in 2026, I'm hoping to kind of like try and see if that's something I
Leverage
can do. Because I may have serious money trauma with debt because they would call me 7 times. They're threatening to call
That's
everyone in your
crazy.
phone book.
Guy.
The loan collectors are now coming to ask Sijui whether they, hey, bruh, that was just something else. So I think definitely there's a way to leverage debt, but then I don't think a lot of us know how to.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a simple thing I can answer, because I get this question a lot. Should I borrow to invest? Let's assume I want to leverage good debt. I've been in a circle, or I have my bank. Can I borrow to put money in a bond?
I think I know the answer.
Yeah. What's the answer? Should you borrow to invest?
Okay, me personally, I wouldn't, but I
Yeah.
guess it only makes sense if the interest you're gaining from the investment is higher than the interest rate you have to pay for the debt. Yeah.
And not just higher, because you could borrow at let's say in a circle 11%,
Yeah.
and then you invest in a bond that pays you 12.5%. What's your real return?
1.5.
So is that worth all the
Yeah.
and you understand?
Only if it's gonna be like double or
Yeah,
something.
not double, but the cost of the loan needs to be significantly lower than the return of the investment,
Yeah.
in such a way that you take home. So if I borrowed, let's say 11% from a circle, and maybe put it like in a, let me not call it a hedge fund, but like a special fund, like the ones we have here that are paying 20 whatever percent, of course high risk high return, then it would make sense. But then sometimes I'm always like, the net return is what will determine, is it worth all the trouble you've gone to borrow and to pay this loan, like the return that you're making, right? So always, there's no like a direct answer to like don't do it or do it, but always ask yourself, what's the cost of this loan, and what's the net return I will get after I've invested in this thing? So what's my take home, and is it worth the whole borrowing process?
So in one line,
Yeah.
what would you tell someone that is overwhelmed by debt right now? Like they are in debt deep.
Yeah.
What are you telling them?
It didn't happen overnight, because for most people, they don't get into debt overnight unless there was like an emergency, like someone died or there was a hospital bill. So you didn't get there overnight. So you can also get out of it overnight.
Yeah.
So be patient with yourself.
Debt freedom is a journey. As I've told you, 2020, 2021, 2022. That's all I was doing. On top of the 2,000 that I was putting in my MMF, the rest of it, I was just attacking debt. Yeah. So have some patience and grace with yourself. Just understand, debt freedom is not an event. It's a journey. It's a process that will require a lot from you. It will require budgeting. It will require honest conversations with yourself and with others. It will require going on a necessities only budget for some people. For some, it will force you to think about additional sources of income. So it's a process. But what I believe is that the debt freedom journey will make you better than how you started, for sure. Yeah.
And okay, I have so many questions. I'm sorry, but I want to know, like, also one thing that you would tell to people that earn irregularly, like all of us here, right? Like business owners, creatives. Wow, it's difficult to budget when you don't know how much money you will have at the end of the month. So, what would be one thing that you would tell our
So if you earn irregular income, I think the one and the, because I earn irregular income every month. Yeah. For me, I've always told people, number one, drop the expectation that you must have a standard monthly budget. There's no one month that is the same as the other for anyone. Interestingly, even for employed people, because even if I was employed, in January I have school fees, but in March I don't. And then I don't have school fees again until May. And then my son's birthday is in June, and then I don't have it again. And like there's no such thing as a standard budget. So dropping that, I think we are very, our approach towards budgeting is very rigid. And I feel like that's what makes freelancers, content creators, self-employed people feel as though the only people who can budget are people with a fixed income every month. I think we really approach budgets rigidly. So one of the things that I always say is that a rigid budget will fail. Because you see, life is not set on stone, so your budget can't be set on stone. So I always encourage freelancers, business people, do a new budget for every month.
Okay.
Wow.
That's just as simple as it is.
Yeah.
A budget is simply an intentional spending plan. So how do you do an intentional spending plan? You ask yourself, so how much money did I make this month, and what would I want it to do for me? So another thing is know how to handle high income months and low income months. And I think Martina and I have had this conversation severally.
I'm realizing now this is my toxic money habit.
Yeah, it is. I was wondering,
Thank God you mentioned it, because I was about to ask before we finish. I was about to ask.
Which is, I want to save 50K to my emergency fund every month, and I don't care how much I'm earning.
So
You know what? That is me and you both.
Yeah,
Because
so obviously it
when I
doesn't
start the
work.
month, I usually have. So first of all, another one is I have so many things I want to save for.
Me too.
Like I have a birthday party. I have I have and then now I just have nyingine ya kusave too.
Yeah.
So for each, I have a specific amount. Like I would save
That
for
you
one,
need to,
I want to save 100, bro. I want to save 50, the other one I want to save 30. But then again, okay, accumulate yote in like a month, it's like 250,000.
Yeah.
What?
Mine is like 450 or something.
And then, because another thing is, again, for freelancers, of course, you're not getting the exact amount of money every other month.
Yeah.
But then again, you're
Set rigid.
exactly
targets.
only
Yeah.
because 1 month I'll be given like more than what I'm expecting. So it account for the other 3 months. Like me nafikiranga tu vitu zingine funny, and I'm like,
that's the thing. You know, that's also a hack. The reason I'm saying be able to understand how to handle high income months and low income months is that because your income is always fluctuating, have like, okay, now I'm talking like a business, but like have standard operating procedures of what do I do when I earn a little money. So like for me, and I think the first time we chatted, I told you, like there are months I will do legit, I'll do 2,000 in my pension fund, and I won't feel like,
Because
that's what
my wrongdoing was that if I can't put the
the
50K, I
she's
put
not,
0.
Yeah, she's not putting money.
Oh, and
dumb.
that is
It's a
dumb.
wrap.
That is dumb because I could be saving at least 10.
Yeah.
But,
Or
I can't
something.
do like the all or nothing mentality or the
Exactly.
perfectionism.
Yeah.
If
That
I
is
can't
me
do
and you
50,
both.
I don't put anything.
Yeah.
She was like,
I do.
Well,
To
what
date,
about?
exactly.
Yeah.
To date, let me tell you, on very high income months, I tetemesha those accounts. I'm like,
Thank
hata
you.
wana notice.
today,
Where umeweka 500,000, you know? And then you'd think it's a different person because next month I can do 1,000.
No shame. No shame.
That's what I have.
I
yeah?
love that. I love
and
that.
let me tell you, you'll maintain consistency. Remember, that's the point. So on
Consistency.
high income months, attack those savings investment goals and prepare. Like there are months I've even like when even when I was going on mat leave, because you know I really envy employed people on certain instances. Because like if I was employed and I went on maternity leave, it's 3 months paid maternity leave. Now imagine I'm the employer.
Yes.
Who is pregnant, who needs maternity
leave.
who's paying maternity
Oh,
leave
bro.
for me. You understand?
Yes.
So like when I was planning now for like when I would go like away from my business completely, because I also wanted to give my child my full attention, because it's very hard for freelancers and business people to do that.
Yes.
It's like you have a baby here, you're burping, and then you need to do TikTok dance or whatever
Yeah.
because the bills need to get paid. So I didn't want to do that. So like when I was planning, I was just like, I remember at the point like I prepaid so many bills. Like, let me pay this for 3 months or for 5 months. So when you get your high income months, ask yourself, can I pay rent for 6 months? Done.
That's
Get it
what I
out of
do.
the way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I pay surf internet for this number of months? Let me do that. The other thing I did when I got my car, I got a fuel card. So like I top up the fuel card. Like there are months I don't even like until I swipe it at Total or whatever is when I'll just be like, Allah imeisha. So I've gone for 4-5 months without worrying about how I'll fuel my car. Because during the high income months,
You
You catered for this thing.
Exactly.
That's an amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
so on low income months, please go on a bare bones budget. And this is what I'm saying, whether your friends really matter. I don't have those friends for Ati. Kwani last month you could afford meeting us, now this month you can't afford meeting us. I'm just like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, in fact, yes, exactly
what
that.
about it?
Exactly.
Exactly
So
that.
that's what I would say to freelancers. Like, don't overthink budgeting. Do the budget for each month. That's why we say you go on your monthly money dates. Like, sit down and be like, how much did I make? what can I do with the 20,000 that I made this month? So you're like, this one is going, this one I'm not doing, this one I'm not doing. In fact, we are not even eating meat in this house. Because that's where I am. And then next month, it's different. So when you understand the ebbs and flow of life, because life is never linear. You understand? So please act the same way with your money. Money is not separate from life. The ups, downs, just normalize it. I think we panic so much when it's lows, or we get too excited.
Actually,
When
too
it's-
excited
when
when
it's
it's
highs.
highs.
Yeah.
Ajib
So
gets
it's-
too excited when it's highs.
Approach money like cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Just
So,
yeah.
all right. Wow. I wish we had all the time in the world.
I wish we
but,
had 6 hours. I would have
just
stayed here
the-
for 6 hours.
Yeah, for the last segment, I just want to do a rapid fire round of
Okay.
questions. So try and answer in one word
All
or
right.
one sentence, whatever. So
Yeah.
so we'll read one each. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to start?
Yes, please.
Okay.
One thing people should stop doing immediately.
Leaving money in their bank accounts.
Okay.
Leaving too much money in your bank account.
Yeah.
Invest that money.
At least put it in a money market fund.
Yeah.
Please beat inflation. That's all we are trying to do. Please just beat inflation.
Sorry, Ebu, say an example of a money market fund.
Ah, my God, there's so many. Any insurance company you know in Kenya right now probably has a product we call a unit trust. And in that unit trust, they have what we call a money market fund. When you think a money market fund, I need you to think this is the best alternative to leaving my money seated in a bank account. Well, your current bank account will give you 0% per annum and charge you bank maintenance fees. We are talking maybe around 9, 10 or 11% per annum compounded monthly on a money market fund.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I mean inflation. So let me give you the logic behind
Yes,
this.
please.
Inflation in Kenya right now could be anything, maybe let's give it 6%. What
Inflation
that means,
is like the cost of living.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you
Thank
say,
you, Martina.
Yeah. So when you say inflation is at 6%, it means this year only we are expecting that the cost of living will go up by 6%. In other words, any of your stored money, wherever it is, its purchasing power will be eroded by 6% this year.
What?
You can afford less things with the same,
Same
money.
amount of
I want to
money.
make sure everyone understands.
Exactly. So why not a bank account? So imagine my money in a bank account grew by 0%, but inflation grew by 6%. I'm at a negative 6.
6
But then
already.
in a money market fund, it's reversed because while inflation grew by 6%, my money in a money market fund grew by 9%. On the bare minimum, I've gotten compensated for inflation and I've retained a 3%.
A 3%,
So
you're
now you're
right.
starting to get into that wealth accumulation journey. Yeah. So the money that should be in your bank account is for transaction purposes only. But if I don't need that money this month, next month, 3 months from now, where is it? And then when you're too liquid, you overspend.
Yeah. True. having your money
Again,
locked up.
you're triggering me
helps.
again. Again.
Sawa. One thing everyone should start doing this year.
One, budget, please. Budget, just start budgeting. Yeah.
And for budgeting, you have to track your expenses.
Track your expenses and please budget. It's for everyone. It's not for the rich. It's not for the poor. It's
Budget.
for everyone. Yeah.
Sawa.
Okay. I'm just listening here because what? Amazing. One habit that changed your finances.
Oh yeah. Tracking my expenses. I know it's easier said than done.
Yes.
But honestly, it sounds so vanilla and boring. But yeah, that's what changed my finances because I was able to see where I was going wrong. Because most of us, it's and that's why, Dave Ramsey actually says that budgeting is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. A lot of the times we are wondering
where it went.
I was hoping you would say that phrase because I'm like, that's a bar.
Yeah. It's you'll stop a lot of wondering. You'll see exactly what your problem is, and when you see what your problem is, at least you can't solve for what you don't know exists. Like for me, I knew, hey, I'm a bleeding heart, I'm a people pleaser, this black tax will be the end of me, what can I do around this? Someone else will be like, hey, it is entertainment. Another person will be skincare. Another person will be other things. You understand?
Another person is all, so
it's everything. So you need help.
yeah.
Almost last one. Ideal amount for an emergency fund. Is there an ideal amount?
Yeah. So there's no an X amount of money because if Martina spends 100,000 per month, I spend 50,000 per month. She spends 200,000 a month. Our emergency fund cannot be the same. So there's no blanket amount that you should have in your emergency fund. What you should have is a minimum of 6 to 12 months of your living expenses saved in a money market fund. So for you, that would be 600,000 because it's 100 times 6 on the bare minimum. For me, that's 300,000 because it's 50,000 times 6. For you, that's 200 times 6, 1.2 million every month. So the more expensive your lifestyle is, the higher the amount you need in an emergency fund. And what is it for? I've always challenged people. I want you to imagine that today what you do for a living is gone. So you
Instagram and TikTok classes.
you see, forget even that. Do you know? Sometimes I tell people that losing your income is the best kind of an emergency you can have because the rest of them are horrible. So we only plan for what if I was to ever lose my job, but we don't plan for what if I lose my ability to earn. So you've had an accident. You're now in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh my days.
God
We don't
forbid.
think
That's even scarier than losing my job.
exactly. That's why I say losing your job is it's the better emergency.
Yeah. By the way, yes.
So
yes.
your emergency fund should be the account that can sustain you for at least 6 to 12 months in the case that A, you lose your job or you lose your ability to make income, your ability to make money. So why specifically 6 months? Again, we know the job market in Kenya. Right now, I feel like if I lost my job today or if I shut down my business today, I'll be lucky to be up on my feet in the next 6 months or to have gotten another job. So you just want to give yourself enough time. Now imagine, like I always tell people, the peace that I walk around with in Nairobi today.
Yeah.
Today as we speak right now, knowing that naeza ishi maisha yangu vile iko sahi for 6 months bila kuwork another day. It changed my relationship with money. Bruh, let me tell you, the anxiety levels died.
Yeah.
And that's why if I can tell someone who's listening to me today who's never started doing anything towards money, that's the one thing I'd tell them to do. Get a money market fund today. You can do, or you asked me to mention them. There's CIC, there's Sanlam, there's Zimele. I love Zimele, guys, because Zimele allows you to do from as little as 100 bob. We all can do it.
Yeah.
And you're still earning the 9, 10, 11%.
Is that like an app?
Yeah, they're a fund manager. Okay. So all of these companies are fund managers. So I can leave like some recommendations and then we can put them in the link below. So I love Zimele. Zimele have what we call the Zimele savings plan. I absolutely, and this is not even an ad or anything, but
none of this is paid.
I genuinely,
we are helping guys out here.
Exactly. I love it kabisa because I have my nanny on it. I have all my low income earners friends on it, like everyone, because I'm like, listen, unaweza pata 100, si ndio? Unaweza, so unaweza pata 100 ama upate 1,100. All of it is welcome. So it really, really helps because when I lost my job, honestly, had I had that, the hell that I went through, I wouldn't have gone through that. And then now let's even talk as babes. I always encourage, I tell women, having an emergency fund is the highest form of self-care. Highest. You know why? You won't stay in a toxic workplace. Because you're like, because there are people who you're being sexually abused. But you're like, natoka naenda wapi? Nahitaji kulipa rent. So you don't go anywhere. You're in a toxic relationship. This guy, probably you guys are cohabiting. You've already gotten used to you guys share bills. You're in a bad situation and the only reason you can't come out of it is you don't have the money to come out of it. To come out of it.
Your life depends on it. Quite literally.
You're hanging like this.
Exactly. So please target 6 months worth of an emergency fund. Now let me manage your expectations because it took me 4 years
to feel it,
to build a 6 months emergency fund. Pole tu chovia kwa money market fund, naeka 1,000 bob here, another again because of that inconsistency in income, you just weka pole. After my son came, you see, I'd planned for 3 months. Guess how long I stayed home? 7. Yes, because we had challenges with nannies. He had challenges with his health. No nanny can handle this child. So you're asking yourself, sawa, naenda job. But I'm living, like I couldn't, like for the life of me, like my motherly instinct just couldn't, like I couldn't, So that's when, I thank God for marrying, right? Because obviously, like my husband supported me in that season. But I saw it, like I saw my life flash before my eyes because I was like, if I was a single mom, that would have been a completely different experience. So, from that point onwards is when now I decided, I actually froze all my big, audacious, scary goals and topped up my emergency fund to 12 months because I was like, I used to think 6 months is enough. And then one thing happened that showed me, yeah, I could have completely wiped out that account and just don't know where to start from there. So that's why we always recommend 6 to 12 months. Don't be like crazy on like going to the 12 months if you don't have to, but like if you get crazy amounts of money, a good partnership, a good deal here and there, saa zingine you can just funga macho and just decide, let me put this money here fast. Right? Then lock it up in the MMF, let it sit there. Like right now, as of November last year, I think I shared this with you, Martina, I fully funded like my emergency fund to 12 months. Now all the money that was going there can start going to these other things. I can do bonds, I can do stocks, I can do like, and it even gives you an ability to take more risk with your money. Because in my mind, I'm like, even if, forgive my French, but if shit hits the fan, I still have some money to fall back to. So that's the first thing you should definitely do before like you now start doing the really big investments per se.
But then in a way, to be able to have an emergency fund, you need to track your expenses, because you can't have 6 months worth of expenses if
you don't know about
what the figure is. So
that's why we said that's the first and the most important thing.
And last one.
Yeah.
If you have 1,000 shillings today, what would you do?
Explain the 1,000 bob. Like it's just, I just found it, or that's all I have to save.
That's all you have to work with.
Yeah. Definitely just put it in an MMF, honestly.
Okay.
Because we also do not want to sell hot air. Yeah. We need you to do something that is practical and realistic. So if I could only do 1,000 bob, then I would do it in an MMF. When you're done with that, maybe you get another 1,000 bob. Please set up a personal pension fund, because most of us are complaining about black tax, but our children will pay black tax.
Because you're not planning for it.
Because we're not planning for retirement, because we're thinking, oh, I'm 20. You should have started like when you are 9 months old.
Yani. In the womb, if anything.
Susan, thank you so much for coming. Oh my God, what a conversation. I wish we had like 10 hours.
But
thank you so much for making time.
Asante. Thank you for having me.
I love it. I love it.
Wow.
Rest assured, I am contacting you tomorrow morning. We are starting this immediately.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe already. Go follow Susan to learn things money in her YouTube, her Instagram, etc. And thank you so much to Skyness for letting us shoot here. We are in an amazing penthouse in the heart of Westlands. What do you think of the house?
Yeah, I came in and I was like,
wow.
Guys,
we love it.
Surprised.
We love it. We love it.
I loved it.
So yes, that's it for today. I hope you liked it, and that's it.
This is arguably one of my best episodes, to be very fair. Yeah, I love it.
I hope we helped at least one of you to like.
Yeah, I love money conversations.
Yeah, me too. All right, thank you so much, Susan, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye.